When Neve and Ariel Schulman hopped on a flight from New York City to Michigan, there was no telling the snowball that they were about to push off the edge. Neve was like any other young 20-something in the late 2000s. A hunger for a career that made sense, a deep allegiance to his favorite city in the world, and the quest to find love. Love came to him, not on the crowded streets of New York, but via a little notification bubble on Facebook. Amongst the rise of online dating apps like OkCupid and Match.com, online chat rooms and early social sites still made it very possible to stumble across your people, and maybe even your person. That's how Neve fell in love with Megan, an artist and singer from Michigan. While on this journey, Ariel's camera captured rural life, countless paintings, and suddenly, a quiet, long, gray-haired woman who dreamt of a different life than the one she was living now. It turns out that Neve's future bride wasn't real. Angela had crafted a web of profiles to keep up her sham. The brothers were stunned. I remember watching the original documentary on MTV when it premiered back in 2011, and I always felt like there was a quiet line never said. A shock that these young guys from New York got tricked by a mom in the Midwest. Neve, in peak diplomatic Libra fashion, ended the interaction amicably. The documentary ends claiming the two are still Facebook friends. As quiet as Neve's crusade for love ended, the movie lit a match, and a year later, MTV would premiere a new show, Catfish. Today's episode is all about proximity, love, and mating. In 2026, online dating is more common than ever. Catfish ingrained a need to hyperanalyze every person one may come in romantic, and sometimes even platonic, contact with on the internet. Users began to demand that service providers help to keep them safe from the people they come in contact with. Here's how the industry responded, and how our natural mating patterns may be altered by technology until the end of time. My name is Ellie Davis, and this is Data Darling. This episode started with a patent that I stumbled across sometime last spring. Online dating system and method successfully patent a system that's been in effect for centuries. When a matchmaker is tasked with finding a forever mate for their client, it's in everyone's best interest that your future partner be from a similar social and financial class as you. Social class is one of the most important factors in determining long-term compatibility. Couples dealing with financial strain are more likely to spend time negotiating those problems instead of spending time nurturing intimacy or mutual interest. Couples that have been raised in a similar socioeconomic status tend to have similar responses to stress, goal setting, and responses to failure. Now, you can argue elitism all you want, but when it's me and you against the world, that feeling is crucial. That feeling is the plot of Celine Song's latest film, The Materialist.
Lip liner, $25.
Are you single?
Elite matchmaking services, $50,000.
I just need 5 minutes alone with her.
Client wedding at the plaza, $600,000.
Hi.
Bouquet of peonies,
Wow.
$400. Tasting menu for two, $700.
I like the way you pick up the bill.
I do it really well, don't I?
Me too.
Dakota Johnson stars as a matchmaker in New York City. She dons Pinterest-perfect outfits and chases down tall, attractive men all over the city to add them to her Rolodex of smart, charming, wealthy men in New York. I mean, she's on her 9th wedding after all, so there must be some magic to the madness. Despite moving up socioeconomic classes through her work in New York City, Johnson's character still struggles between moving up with a partner who sees relationships as a merger and acquisition and going back to her ex, who's been with her through the lows and lows. Spoiler alert, she gets back with her ex. Not because he's the partner that will support her through the next set of her job ascensions, but because he was there when she had nothing. They lived through shitty cars and molding apartments together. There's comfort in similarity, and growing pains aren't for everyone. Whether in an indie film or a sociology journal, the message is the same. Socioeconomic class is a driving force in choosing a partner. Now, let's add the internet to it. To meet someone outside of your bubble, you'd have to leave town or hire help. With the internet, new options came to you. Match.com and OkCupid were early adopters. Both had long questionnaires similar to the one you'd fill out with a matchmaker, except in this case, you didn't have to spend thousands of dollars just to end up with a handful of matches. When server costs were low and internet morale was high, these sites worked fantastically. I know a handful of people who are in 15-plus year-long relationships through OkCupid in particular, but the shift from .com boom to mobile made it so that the questionnaires weren't the only things service providers were using to make decisions on who your next great love would be. U.S. patent automatic selection of an intermediate dating location patents the idea of location, location, location. When person A is going about their day, the app is able to collect information of where they're going, when they get there, and how they get there, the time of day, and predict the next time they'll be in the area. While collecting that information on person A, the app is collecting the same information on person B, determining that the two often visit the same coffee shop, but at different times of the day, and getting there from different directions. The app also found that the two are often at workout classes at similar times of night, in the same area, but at different formats, like one's at a HIIT workout and one's at hot yoga. With this information, the processor will look at person A's preferences to see if person B is someone that person A is likely to swipe on, as well as likely to stay in consistent communication with. If the likelihood is high, the processor will add person B into person A's feed, and from there, it's all up to your thumbs and your heart if you find love. Twitter loves to talk about seeing their gym or coffee shop crush come up on Bumble. To some, the mildly voyeuristic experience of online dating is appealing. To some, it's a game that resembles being offered up for sale at the meat market. I'm going to read you a quote from a study that says, "Online dating sites are similar to previously analyzed matching markets in that they are used to allocate indivisible goods without an explicit price or transfer mechanism. There is inherently a value in proximity to women." And yes, for the rest of this episode, whenever I reference proximity and value, that is in reference to women. I'm going to stand firm on dating apps being designed around a man's desire to be around a woman and not a woman seeking a man and partner, which has equal value, but simply from the pay structure of dating apps. On Bumble, a dating app known for the woman sending the first message to express her interest, has since rolled out a paid function that allows a man to send a note to a woman expressing his interest, as well as the ability to extend the clock for her to respond if the 24-hour window is up. Tinder reportedly has higher subscription prices for males over 31. This age group is willing to pay 100% more than their younger counterparts for the same service. In Australia, a consumer group recorded men over 50 being charged 5 times what the other users were paying for the premium tier. The way Tinder sees it, as you grow older and the pressure to settle down increases, you'll pay the higher rate because you're so desperate to have someone in your life. But why? Why do men feel the urge to pay more for these services? Well, because the thought of a woman gives them hope. I'm going to play you a small clip from the movie 27 Days Later.
Survival. I understand. I promised the woman. days ago, I found Jones with his gun in his mouth. He said he was going to kill himself because there was no future. What could I say to him? We fight off the infected or we wait until they starve to death and then what?
The endless patents that patent proximity are not doing something that you can't track yourself. As an avid yoga girl myself, I have a roster of cute, tall, moderately flexible guys I see in the handful of classes I take. I know based on the location and time of day what industry I think they work in, and because yogis are all love, there's a good chance that when I'm ready to say hello, they'll say it right back. I think we're growing to be a nation that sees someone's online profile as proof that they're real. I'm holding your resume, but I'd like to see your LinkedIn too. I met you in the drinks line at the concert, but I want to look at your Instagram and see if this is really your vibe. An online profile is a needle mover in discernment. It's the people's digital ID when you think about it. Sure, it's voluntary and have some fibs sprinkled in it, but there are plenty of IDs that have a height boost or a weight slimming printed onto it. An interesting reversal from a generation of people traumatized, parasocially, but traumatized nonetheless, by catfish. The person you swipe right on may not be able to change your life overnight or look like the apple of your eye. What these apps can serve you up is someone statistically correct, mathematically plausible, and someone you can manage to be with for the rest of your life. If that's enough, then sure, why the hell not? We ultimately trust the numbers, right? My favorite character in the Catfish documentary is the catfish's own husband, Vince, a gruff Midwestern man who only appears a handful of times. I'll leave you with his parting message to the boys about his wife. Thank you for listening, and this has been Data Darling.
She did express some maybe suppressed disappointment in a small way at not being able to pursue some of the dreams that she may have had growing up.
Yeah.
Do you ever talk about that with her, or does she ever express that to you?
She says things like that to me, yes. And then I remind her, again, what is it you want in life? Because you can't have it all. And then she comes back, I want to be with his family. I want my house. I want security. And that's what I want. And then that's what you shoot for. Because if there's something else you want, then you need to go looking for that.